Hi, everyone, and welcome to Home for the Holidays. I thought I'd record it and post it so that people that weren't able to make the actual program time could watch it just whenever they got a chance. So just to start off, my name is Terrell Dvorsky, and I am a program coordinator with Family and Community Support Services with the town of Canmore. I've been there for just a few weeks now, but I've worked for the town before with what was Bow Valley Parent Link, and I've been in Canmore for about 5 years now. So yeah, this is Home for the Holidays. I wanted to make a program that just focused on really lighthearted, fun, festive tips and tricks for celebrating this holiday season. It's going to look quite different than most of us were hoping it would look like, but I wanted to really focus on the positive and focus on what we can do this holiday season. And I want to take the focus away that was pointed at what we can't do. So it's meant to just be, really light, festive. We'll do tips and tricks to low cost gifting ideas, a lot of DIYs, and a lot of reinventing traditions and what that'll look like for celebrating Christmas this year. So let's get started. I have a little slideshow presentation that I'm going to share my screen and we'll go from there. So let's see if I can figure out how to share my screen. Yes, perfect. So again, this is Home for the Holidays. We'll just take a look at reimagining what Christmas will look like this year. And so I really want to focus on the in with the new. It's going to look at shifting our expectations, what it means to celebrate, and really help us to create an opportunity for a unique, memorable, and fun holiday season. My tagline was being home for the holidays takes on a whole new meaning this year, but it can still be meaningful. There's still so much we can do to celebrate. And I think, when we look back and the things that we remember them because they were different. And I really want to remember this Christmas in a positive light and really focus on the positives. So reinventing holiday traditions that kind of together apart is basically the epitome of what 2020 has been. And so I really want to look at that together apart in a positive light. So I want to identify what is normally most important to you going into the Christmas season. What are those traditions that you really love and you look forward to every year? And what can that look like this year? And I want to focus on, again, what we can do, not what we can't. And I want to go into this holiday season with a positive attitude. And so this program is really here just to do that, to help us, identify the positives going into this and to reimagine and reinvent what Christmas can look like. One of the biggest things I feel like with holiday traditions for me is I absolutely love the big family gatherings. For my fiance's family, they always have the Fitzgerald Christmas Eve, and they have 30 plus people gather around the table. Everybody brings over the exact same dish every year for about 20 years. And this is going to be the first year that it doesn't happen. And I think that's really hard, but I think just because it doesn't happen this year doesn't mean it's never going to happen again. So it's just reimagining what that gathering would look like this year when we can't gather. And so it may mean over Zoom, or it might mean dropping off Christmas presents or baking on their doorsteps, or there's just different ways to reimagine it. And then one of the things that I actually came across when I was putting together this program was an article where parents asked their kids, what is your favorite part about Christmas? And I think we all would assume that a child would answer with, gifts, Christmas morning, Santa visiting. And it was really surprising that a lot of the kids said having mom and dad home, or when mom and dad aren't at work over the Christmas holidays and we get to go out skating and we get to go outside and build an igloo. And it was really those meaningful family connections. And so that's really what I want to focus on doing, is building those family connections this Christmas. So creating new traditions. I've put together a list here of some of my favorite new traditions that I've stumbled across and ways that we can make that happen this Christmas season. So themed outfits. Everybody loves a good theme, especially when it involves PJs or ugly Christmas sweaters. So you can send everyone a set of PJs or an ugly Christmas sweater, or have everybody go out and get some, or craft their own ugly Christmas sweater together, and then gather over Zoom or house party or FaceTime and take a picture of everybody in their themed outfits. I love that idea. I especially love the ugly Christmas sweaters. We did that at work last year, and I went as a Christmas tree. So I wore a tree skirt and then had a Christmas tree hat, and I went as a Christmas tree, and it was a big hit. The next new tradition would be have a holiday movie night. Netflix came out with a super cool part of their app, which is Netflix Party. So it means that you can gather virtually with family or friends, and you can all watch the same movie at the exact same time. And they actually have a little chat box that you can chat live while you're watching the movie. And so it's basically like you're gathering together to watch the same Christmas movies. Have a game night. So this is what my family and I did when COVID first hit and we couldn't gather. We started having game nights over Zoom. And so we always played this dice game, but there are some super easy games you can play over Zoom, especially with kids. You can do charades, Christmas trivia, guess the song title. There's so many games you can play. Zoom is a great platform. House Party is a great platform. But yeah, there's so many great games you can play. And if you just Google Zoom games, there's a lot of already pre-created ways to do charades and Christmas trivia. And I've got a Christmas bingo linked at the end of this as well. Cards for Care. So this is a really great tradition that I love. I started a club when I worked as a teacher, and I taught grades 7 to 9. I started a club, and it was called Cards for Care. And so what we did is we gathered at lunchtime leading up to Christmas, and we made hundreds and hundreds of Christmas cards. We made some in French and some in Ukrainian, and we personalized them, and we went and gathered them all, and we delivered them to seniors care centers around town. And what we heard from the care centers was that the seniors were absolutely ecstatic, and they were so touched, especially the ones that were written in Ukrainian, and someone that spoke Ukrainian got that personalized Christmas card, and they just said it meant so much. So just taking that extra time that we all have right now to get crafty, to have kids create Christmas cards, and you can deliver them to elderly people around the neighborhood or just family around town, or deliver them to the Seniors Lodge in Canmore. So there's a lot of great ways we can let people know that we're thinking about them right now. Cookie decorating. Another one I love, send each family member a cookie decorating kit or a gingerbread house kit, or you can make your own or supply your own, and then just have everybody gather over Zoom or FaceTime and just get creative and maybe competitive, because I know lots of people love to have gingerbread house competitions. So you can get a little bit creative over, cookie decorating. And the other thing with that one is you can obviously have your cookies pre-cooked before you have the Zoom party, so you're just set and ready to decorate. Go for a festive drive. This is one of my favorites. Every single Christmas season, I make my fiance go for a big festive drive with me. I play Christmas music, I buy hot chocolate, and usually if I'm lucky, I drag him all the way to Calgary to take a look at the Christmas lights around there. But normally, or at least we always do it around Canmore. But the cool thing about Calgary is they have this website called lightenupcalgary.ca, and it basically provides an extensive map of all the beautifully decorated yards and homes across Calgary. And you can just follow the map and pop around to each different one, but it lays it out for you so you're not kind of driving aimlessly. You kind of have like a route you're going to take. And yeah, it's all these super elaborate Christmas decorated homes, and they're beautiful. And that's by far, I think, my top 3 Christmas traditions. This one, virtual visit with Santa. This is something new. Obviously with COVID, most things have to be virtual, but that doesn't mean you can't have the kids meet with Santa Claus. And so there's a lot of great programs out there. The one that I have put here is called the Santa Club, and it's got many different visit options you can choose from, but it all allows the kids to meet and greet with Santa and Mrs. Claus over Zoom. And they also get a recording of the video afterwards, and you can take some pictures over Zoom so the kids can still get to meet with Santa over the holidays. And then the neighborhood cookie swap. This one's really neat too. I had a coworker share this one with me. So have everyone bake a batch of cookies, and you can drop them off at each neighbor's door on a specific chosen date, and you all get to try each other's different cookies and see what everyone's came up with. It's a good way to get some Christmas baking in that isn't your own baking. Find the Christmas pickle. This is a unique tradition I grew up with that it's funny. I never really knew what the point of the Christmas pickle was until I Googled it like a couple months ago. But every year my mom and dad would always hide a Christmas pickle ornament, like you can see, in the tree. And the goal was me or my brother, whoever found the Christmas pickle first got to open a gift on Christmas Eve. And it was like one gift that was like picked out beforehand. It was the Christmas pickle gift, but it's just a cute little Christmas tradition that I absolutely love. And yeah, it's funny. There's some confusion around where the Christmas pickle tradition originated. Some people say it was in Germany when Woolworths came out with these fruit and vegetable ornaments. And so somebody just started hiding the ornament in the tree, and then it became this tradition. But it's super neat to find all these different Christmas traditions that people have done over the years. And so one of my unique Christmas traditions was always the Christmas pickle. Winter Wonderland, another one I love. You can make your yard into a Christmas winter wonderland. You can build a fire, play Christmas music, do s'mores, hot chocolate, maybe string some Christmas lights outside, cozy up with some blankets, and make the backyard just into a magical winter wonderland. I know we're all going a little stir crazy inside our homes these days, so it's just a nice way to have a change of scenery and to spend some indoor time outdoors. The Christmas around the world kind of ties into that Christmas pickle tradition. So, we're not able to travel the globe right now, but you can do so in spirit. And so, yeah, consider taking a look at what different Christmas traditions exist around the world, trying their traditional baking and what crafts are usually associated. And yeah, the super neat one would be eating Kentucky Fried Chicken in Japan. So just, maybe picking a new country every week and seeing what they do for their Christmas traditions, and trying it out. This 25 days of giving, I know we're a little bit into the month of December already, but it's a great little twist on the Advent calendar. So each day you can count down to the holidays by adding a canned good or non-perishable to a box. And then at the end, you could donate it to a local food pantry or a person in need or a family in need. You could also do these with like little gift items, little stocking stuffers, and then give to a family in need or a child in need. So I really love that one because it's a way to give back to the community and to the people in need. I know there's a lot of people struggling these days financially, and so it's just a way to look out for our community. Now the Zoom hostess with the mostest. So I know we're all probably a little Zoom fatigued right now. We've all been Zooming for what feels like forever, but there are some ways to make Zoom just a little bit more enjoyable and a little bit more structured to make you the Zoom hostess with the mostest. So just some tips and tricks for if you're hosting a holiday party over Zoom. Just some ways to make it run a little bit more smooth, make it a little bit more comfy, a little bit more cozy. And so the first one would be guide your guests with generous authority. So we want to have a little bit of structure to our Zoom holiday parties. We all have been a part of a Zoom party where it's gotten a little chaotic. Some people are muted, some people aren't. People are talking over each other. It's just utter chaos. And most of the time, half the people sit there in silence. So have somebody be your designated hostess with the mostest and just guide the Zoom party. So what that can look like is, you can start with everybody, you know, starts with a welcoming activity. You share one Christmas memory to start off with, and yeah, you just set some guidelines, and you have the person that's kind of the go-to to guide the holiday party. The next one is create a theme. So a Christmas party always feels more special and a little more intentional with a name and a theme. Everybody loves a good old theme party. And so the ones I've come up with would be snowballs and highballs for anybody that wants to have like a little cocktail Christmas party, or quarantine dinner, which is like a virtual potluck, like quarantine style. And then dreaming of a wine Christmas for a virtual wine and cheese tasting. Or you could do winter wonderland if you're going to create like backgrounds with snow, and you can have like toques and mitts on, but there's some super great themes. People can, you know, have outfits, and that's, yeah. And so people can come in just with like a little bit of structure. And then backgrounds. So you can change your background over Zoom to be basically whatever you want. So you can use your theme to set the Zoom backgrounds, whether you're in front of a fireplace or a Christmas tree, or you're at the North Pole, or you're outside in front of a snowman. You can digitally create your own background. And so that gives people something to do beforehand as well. An activity, let guests know what they'll be doing and how they should prepare. So this could be if you're doing the cookie decorating over Zoom, or if you're doing, you know, charades or guess the song. What do people need to bring? Do you want to have everybody create a Christmas cocktail before they start and they can have that already made, or have a Christmas baking or appetizer pre-made? So just what do guests need to prepare for that holiday Christmas party? And you can send out super cool digital invites as well to people, just saying time, what they should bring, what they should wear, what the theme is. You can send those out beforehand as well. So a gift or a party favor, these are just little kind of side bits there, but sending supplies to your virtual guests in advance is an easy way to get everyone excited for the party. So whether you're sending a cookie decorating kit or a ugly Christmas sweater, or maybe you're sending over, yeah, matching PJs, just something. Are you going to send something, or is it kind of supply your own? And then you can still create meaning through shaping conversations and purposeful and meaningful questioning. I love this one because I feel like when we gather over Zoom, it can sometimes get a little awkward and uncomfortable, and you don't know when to speak or where to look, and you don't know how to guide the conversation. But there's still so many great ways to create meaningful conversations over Zoom. And yeah, you can just guide it by meaningful questioning. And this kind of leads into my next blast from the past is talk about memories. Ask what your favorite memory was of Christmas growing up, or as like if you're gathering with family, share pictures from past Christmas gatherings. There's so many ways to bring memories and meaning to those Zoom meetings. It doesn't have to just kind of be this organized chaos. So yeah, I love the idea of sharing, you know, meaningful Christmas ornaments and bringing up memories. And so yeah, I love it. I love the blast from the past. And then thoughtfulness doesn't need to come with a hefty price tag. This is where we kind of get into that DIY and the low cost gifting. Right now, I know we're all struggling financially just to kind of make it through day by day. And then you add the Christmas holidays on top of it, and it can just feel extremely overwhelming. And like, you can't keep your head above water. But I want to make sure that everyone knows thoughtfulness does not need to come with a hefty price tag. There are so many ways to reimagine gifting. And a lot of the time, people love homemade gifts. They love those presents that come with meaning behind them, and there was purpose into making them. And so it can be anything from like a memory book or a photo book. You know, you can write letters. Again, everyone loves snail mail. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of DIYs that you can do to do gifting this year. And so we'll take a look at a few. So these ones, Salto Ornaments, I always include these because they're so easy, they're inexpensive, and if you have kids, I know people love, like grandparents love to receive ornaments and stuff that their grandchildren have made. So it's super easy. You just do a cup of salt, 4 cups of flour, 1.5 cup of warm water, mix it all together. You can cut shapes, you can do hand prints, you can do footprints, you can do paw prints, which what I'll be doing with my dog. And yeah, you just make sure to poke a hole through them, bake them for like an hour or two, and then you can paint, color, glitter, anything you want to decorate the ornaments, and they make for really good little keepsakes. And the good thing about this is it also creates an activity to do before you gift them. It gives you a time to sit down as a family and to make some Christmas ornaments, make some Christmas memories. And yeah, come together and then gift them to family and friends. The other one is Stovetop Potpourri, and I absolutely love this one. I've already done my own Stovetop Potpourri this season, but I love it as a gifting idea because it's just so simple and it's just a really cute, unique way. So you can put together these little gift baggies that are just, yeah, little potpourri packs, and it's super easy. So you can do cranberry, orange, cinnamon sticks, all in a little baggie, and then the gift receiver just pours it into a pot with some water, you boil it, and your house smells like a Christmas wonderland. And so there's a bunch of great recipes out there. I've just put my favorites on here. The cinnamon sticks, pine, nutmeg, and cloves is amazing. It smells like you're walking outside through a Christmas forest, and it's just, I love it. So Stovetop Potpourri, easy, super simple, but super great and cute gift idea. Compound butters. This is the other one I love because everybody loves food, and these will never go to waste, and you know people will love them. And so you can put them in these super cute little jars with some homemade labels, and they're a great idea for gifting. And so basically what it is it's just flavored butter, and you can just whip it up in so many different ways with so many different flavors. You can put it into super cute little jars with labels and gift them, and they can go on pancakes, crepes, breads, steak, baking. You can use them for everything. So basically all you need is unsalted butter, various different seasonings that you want. And I've kind of put up a picture there of different recipes. And then you can do 2 things. You can put them in cute little storage containers like the ones I just showed, or you can roll it into a log with parchment paper or saran wrap, stick it in the fridge, wait till it hardens, and cut it into little slices. And that's a super cute way too. My favorite compound butter is the pecan butter. I also think it's super Christmassy and festive. So it's basically just butter, brown sugar, and pecans. You mix it all together and it tastes amazing on pancakes or breads or crepes. It's just really good. And so it's just a great one to gift because, again, it's something you can spend time making beforehand and you know somebody's going to use it. So everybody loves food and it's just a really great option. Thrifting and regifting. This is one that people, I think, aren't really sure what's appropriate these days, whether you can regift or you can thrift store shop. But these are 2 things that my family has discussed actually doing. Last year, we discussed doing thrift store shopping. And so all of the Christmas gifts needed to be done and found and purchased through a thrift store. And so it was a great way to, do that whole reduce, reuse, recycle. It doesn't have a lot of waste, and you can find some really neat things in thrift stores. So I love the idea of going in, really finding something. It gives you an opportunity to go with family, obviously of your own household, but it's just a neat way. You get to look through a bunch of stuff and really find something that you think the other person would love or that reminds you of them. And then it's super cool to watch them open it, and you can kind of go through the whole, this is why I got it. And it's just got some cool history to it. And then the Regifting. So I think regifting has such a bad rap, but it's such a good idea because it really takes the waste out of a lot of gifting that happens. It allows you to take something that you don't use anymore or that you never used and giving it to someone that you know would use it. And so I have that little kind of regifting tree there that takes you through there, but I also want to look at the regifting done right. So the do's and the don'ts, and that's do give them something they want. So you were given something you don't necessarily use and you want to give it to someone that does, make sure you give it to someone that will use it. Rewrap and add a new card. Obviously, don't stick with the original wrapping that you've like torn into, and don't give them a card with your name on it. So make sure you rewrap and you recard the gift. Consider giving it to a charity. If you don't have someone that you think you could regift it to, now is a great time to donate items. There's so many great places to donate out there. And it's a great way to give back to someone who may not be able to afford the item on their own. So it's just a great way to give to charity. Check that the recipient doesn't know the original gifter, also key, because you don't want to re-gift to someone that's going to go to that person and be like, hey, I got this super cool thing from so-and-so. And then it's just awkward. But I also think there should be no shame around re-gifting this year. And so, yeah, I think re-gifting is a great idea. And again, don't give anything used, personalized, or handmade, because if someone's given you something that they took the time to hand make, you don't want to regift it. So don't regift Salto ornaments that you've been given before. Don't regift if you can't remember who gave it to you, because no one wants to be in that awkward position where you're giving something back to someone that they gave to you. So make sure you know who gave you the gift in the first place. And don't tell the recipient that it's a regift. Just give them the gift and all will be well. But there should be no shame around regifting. I think it's a great idea. And then other just little kind of low cost ways to gift, do a cookie swap. I kind of touched on that with the neighborhood cookie swap. And then the family recipe cookbook. I love this one. My grandma a couple of years ago spent so much time putting together a family recipe book for me. And it has been my favorite gift that I've ever received. And I think all of my years, because I will always have her amazing cooking recipes all in one book. And she took the time to handwrite it all out. And I absolutely loved it. So I think a recipe book is just such a great idea. There's so much meaning behind it. And it's a great way to pass on those family traditions as well. And then some events around town. Obviously, these may or may not change based on COVID restrictions. So just keep that in mind when you're watching this, that they may have changed due to restrictions, but there's the Christmas has gone to the dogs, where you can book your pet in for a picture with Santa. It's done at the Malcolm Hotel, Saturday, December 12th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You got to purchase your tickets in advance. I love it. I've done the Santa photos with my dog Charlie for 3 years now, and he loves it. Probably not as much as I love it, but I like to think he loves it. And yeah, and then photos with Santa Claus. Again, I have a feeling these might not be going ahead, but just check in. It's also at the Malcolm, and tickets can be purchased in advance. And then the last one I want to talk about is community conversations, holiday presents, accepting, adapting, and embracing. And that's hosted with FCSS or by FCSS, and you can register with FCSS for the Zoom link. It's going to be on Thursday, December 18th at 7 p.m. and it'll be done virtually, but it's going to be a great community conversation about accepting, adapting, and embracing the changes through this community or through this Christmas season. So it's going to be a really great conversation. You don't want to miss that. And that's the holiday online holiday bingo that you can use for your Zoom game. So you can find that online as well. And then I just want to end with this quote by Priya Parker. It's love the ones you're with and do your best to honor the ones you can't be with. Priya Parker is the author of Art of Gathering, and she just speaks to how we can make gathering meaningful these days. And she's a really, really great master facilitator, and she just did a really good podcast episode with Brené Brown. You can find that online, and she talks about gathering right now and what that looks like and how to still make it meaningful. And so if you want to check that out, it's a really great resource. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. Perfect. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I've got for this Home for the Holidays. I know it's going to be different going into this Christmas season, but there's so many great things we can still do to make this Christmas meaningful, and so many unique and fun ways to celebrate Christmas this year and celebrate the holidays, and to still gather virtually with family and gather with the ones in our household, and still have a really great holiday season. So yeah, I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy holidays. And I hope you stay warm, stay cozy, and have a great holiday season with your families.